Welcome to CTS Career and Technology Show. In this episode, I'm just having a casual conversation with one of the law aspirants. He has just recently given his CLAT examination, and we're going to discuss with him on why he chose this career. And then we're going to discuss with him on how he's preparing for it. What are different options available, and universities, and what are different options in that part. So let me start by introducing it. He's Ratan Bharadwaj. Uh, I've seen his profile and he's preparing for CLAT. So Ratan, welcome to the podcast. Uh,
Yeah,
this,
pleasure. My pleasure.
yeah. So basically here, I'm going to ask you about the career you chose and why is it that you chose this career and what made you chose this basically. So it's going to be a casual conversation. So you can feel free and relax and let's make it a fun session. Okay.
Okay, sure. Let me
Okay, so
just.
just basically introduce yourself and then take it from there.
Okay, as you know, my name. I'm Ratan Bharadwaj, and I've just finished my intermediate or PUC for Karnataka people. Um, so after that, I wanted to actually get into a law university, but then the law exam was clashing with my board, so I couldn't write CLAT the first time. So I wrote the CLAT for the second attempt, which will be admissions for the next year. So I've taken a year back on achieving this. Um, the as you know, all the CLAT results are out. So I've got around 85, so which is not I know which is not that a good score, but then I've managed to get into universities which are in the top five. So that's a
Right.
good thing, and I've got
So it's not about
and
the score you're talking about, right? It's about the decision that you took when you chose law as your career, correct? So as you know, many of us, including my generation, we were very much having only few options like engineering and very few options. So what what made you choose this career, right? So just give me a brief on how did you end up choosing this career as a path,
Okay, let me start off by this. Okay, there's a saying that a human on an average should work for 30 years.
right?
Okay, so uh, when I thought to myself, damn, I have to work for 30 years. Okay, so I was like, what should I do that will keep my interest for 30 years as the for 30 years straight? So which career will give
Right,
me the same interest from the first day of my job to the last day or until retirement? The same interest.
correct,
I know interest might fade there, but then the enthusiasm, you get up in the morning, go to your office, meet your colleagues, the same interest, the same stuff. That's what the number one thing you should focus on, irrespective of what career you do, is think that, am I doing it? This is what I want. Is this what I want?
right,
Okay, it's not for the money. I know it's most of the people go for the money, but then just think to yourself, do you want to be doing this for such a pace? And money is always secondary when it comes. Okay, it should be personal satisfaction. I know
got it,
you alone can't change the world, but then
right,
at least you can change the surroundings. Okay, so it should be important that what you do is satisfying for you.
okay.
It is
So
self
when did this
satisfied.
spark hit you that you have to do something in towards the law field? So was it very young at maybe 5 7 years, or when did you start this spark of joining the CLAT? Whatever the law exams and
Oh, as I said, the whole thing. That thought went in my mind, and I was like, okay, I want to do this. I want to do law. I realized this in tenth.
10th class. Okay, so 10th class is
Yeah,
where you
tenth class.
decided that you want to go
Yeah,
this direction.
yeah. But then I had my eyes towards the legal part of the legal part from way back. But then it was latent. It was not that it was passive.
It was passive.
It was
So
there.
you
It was
developed the
passive.
active interest
Yeah,
studying 10th.
activated. It activated after 10th. So
Okay, so what did you do in intermediate? What was your major?
I did PCMC, which is physics, maths, computers, and chemistry.
So basically, it was MPC. Basically, it is a
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
deep dive into a basic
Yes.
introduction to everything that is available. Okay, got it. So when you decided this, when you decided to pursue this as your career, right? So did you do any research? Because these days, right, there are a lot of research options
Mm.
available for you also, right? So it's not
Mm.
like I took a decision, I just go with that blind, or do you go with somebody, do you talk to somebody, or it's just like you research a bit, a lot of research, make take the points down, and then you pursued this.
No, I have put in a lot of hours of research. I have seen my career options. I thought law is fitting, and then salary played also a major role in it. The salary packages of
Right,
an associate level lawyer. So I was like, okay, this is giving me, and I will have the satisfaction of what I want to do, right,
correct.
in the
Yes,
future. So
right,
I thought, yes, I have done some research. I mean, it's not all easy. I know there are shows which show laws like cases like you just go into the court and like you're on it. No, that's not it. Actually, that's not how it actually happens. So yeah, I thought you have to hustle in the starting stages, but then eventually you'll get to a place where your presence is all is needed.
got it. Makes sense. So again, in the starting of the interview, you said money is not that important, but now you said, okay, the salary is also good. So again, everybody works for salary, but again, you said that working for salary where you love to work, where you love to go every day, where you love to be the same yourself, that's where you
Yeah.
chose your career. So that is good. That is good because these days, right, where there are a lot less options available,
Hmm.
right?
Yes,
I'm
yes,
saying
yeah,
not
yeah,
in
I
not
agree.
in the options available overall, right? So the
Hmm.
mindset for parents,
Hmm.
right? They prefer a more safer approach for a kid. Any parent does that. You don't blame
Yes,
them because they see that okay, this is where there is good future. Let's move that way forward. So,
yes, yes.
but these younger generation, like your generation, right, has
Hmm.
much more opportunities to research and
Hmm.
prove
Yeah.
to them that this is also an opportunity, right?
Hmm.
So the thing that stuck with me was you said you wrote the CLAT test, right?
Hmm.
Forget about the score. You prepared, you gave exam. That's okay. You've
Yeah.
done well.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll get
yeah.
a university. You'll do it. That's okay.
Hmm.
So how many people wrote the exam?
Throughout India, it was 50,000 people.
Okay. So is that a limit they have, or that's the only people that have applied?
That's the only people have applied and appeared. There's a difference, okay?
Wow.
Appearing is different.
Got it. So
Okay,
that's
so
what that's the thing that stuck with me, right? So it said where people like engineering entrances are written by let's say lakhs and lakhs of people, right? Even when I was writing my engineering entrance, it was like what 5 lakhs people wrote it, right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
come 2022, still 50,000 people appeared to it. Let's not say apply, let's say appeared in the exam.
Huh,
So
but
that is
yeah, okay. You
go ahead,
you
go
want
ahead.
to speak?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
no, no,
okay,
go
I'll
ahead, go
speak.
ahead.
Okay. Okay, so this is the difference between engineering and law. Okay,
Right.
engineering schools, they accept on pure knowledge, no merit base, which is your scores. Okay, but then law schools have a different thing. They test your knowledge. They test your logical thinking. They test your logical the way you approach to stuff. So, if given a situation, how would you approach? That's one of the many questions. They test your language skills. Have you ever seen an engineering exam asking about English? It's basically physics, maths, and science every time. Throughout the world, it's physics, maths, and science,
True,
right? But
true.
then when you go to law entrances, they give preference to English and logical reasoning. And maths isn't, maybe seventh standard math like probability, percentages, and geometry, basic geometry. How do you calculate the volume? That's just real basic stuff when it comes to engineering topics like integration, differentiation. So and they totally they want to see you go through all the situations, because there is value for, I know there's plenty value for engineers, but then they don't
True.
face any tough decisions. It's all pre-planned.
So again, here we are not discussing about careers, right? Okay, of course we are talking about careers. People who want to do engineering can do engineering, but as you said,
Yeah.
they have to wake up every day and say, I want to be an engineer. It's
Yes,
not
yes,
like
that's
I just want to be an engineer because somebody wants me to be an engineer. That's not what
no,
we
no,
encourage, right? We are
no,
telling you that if you get up in the morning, if you be like, okay, I want to invent something new, I want to do something new, then do it. If
yeah, yeah,
engineering is your
sure.
part, do it. But
Yeah, do
it's
it.
not that that's the only career option available, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's the thing. So in the law, as you said, they test you a lot of things, but engineering exams also do. There's an exam called BITSAT. There's called there are bits and everything. So people do test that again.
Huh.
So it's just about which path you choose and all that. So that's what, see, the examination is might be different, but people attempting an engineering is much more like a different people attempt it, at least to see that if they pass by luck, if they get qualified by luck. I'm not saying everyone,
Yes.
I'm just saying there are few
Huh.
people applying like that. So
Yeah.
50,000 people applying in India for that CLAT exam is just stuck with me. I'm like, wow, right? So you are in the elite people who are even thinking of considering this as an option.
No, I mean, law has always made an impact on India on the other side. People think lawyer means you just gotta wait outside court for some cases and just sit and be, yeah, okay, sir, I'll take your case. It's not like that. It's always not like that. Maybe it was, maybe
Earlier
in way
days,
back
yes,
when, yeah,
earlier days,
in the
yeah,
earlier days it was like that maybe. But then now times have changed. There
correct,
are new laws coming up, and there are a lot of career options in laws only. In,
right,
in, in the field of law and legal studies, there are a lot of options. As I went to a campus tour in Nalsar, Hyderabad, and this dude, I was talking to a senior who was studying there, maybe the fourth year or fifth year. He was telling, I have taken corporate law and I've never set foot in a moot court. Okay, for people who don't know what moot court is,
right.
it's more like a dummy scenario where people just argue about cases to test their skills before they do the actual thing. Okay, it's basically for students, and mood sessions are. I'm not able to see you.
Yeah, you can
Hello.
continue. Yeah, go ahead, continue.
Okay. So mood sessions are, they're like these fake scenarios where you gotta argue about it. So yeah. So that dude is like, I don't want to set into. You see, you don't. Not every lawyer has to set foot in the court in his or her part of their lives. Okay, it's just that there are a lot of options. The point is, there are a lot of options in law. You can take up family law, you can take up criminal law, you can take up corporate law, which is those fancy suitcases, those fancy suits and all that stuff. You might even seen the show Suits and all. Okay, and you can take up law of torts. You can there's there's a lot of law. And as India advances, we have cyber law too now. Cyber law
Right,
is on the booming right now. So
right.
people who pursue cyber law, they are profiting from it, because cyber law is become an essential part of our legal system right now. Because there are more scandals on the internet
True.
than in real
So
life.
that's right. That is true. That is true. So that's also a thing that impresses me, right? That you have done so much research on availability of different career options, right? So just pursuing a career is different. I'm not telling about you. I'm just saying that pursuing a career is different, but doing that by knowing each and every part of it is different. You know what I'm saying? So you
I get
providing
you.
insight, you providing
Uh,
insights like having
uh,
corporate law. You said there's a lot of law options, legal options, family law, whatever law you named. So these are all the options available maybe most of them don't know, right?
Yeah,
So the
most
reason
of
I
them don't
think
know.
the reason I think the law will take higher precedence going forward is because, as you said, cyber law, right? So because
Hmm.
everything is becoming cyber connected, right? Everything is internet, everything is online these days, correct?
Hmm.
So cyber law might be something that might be an essential skill, as you said, in the society going forward.
Yes, yes, of course, of
So
course.
so that's why people need to do this more and more, correct?
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's all I am trying to tell is I want to showcase different career options available, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I really appreciate you for explaining and elaborating on different options available. Even if you choose law, right? In each and every career
Hmm.
you choose, there are many options, right?
Yes.
So yeah, go ahead. So what is the CLAT exam about? What are different exams available for a law student just out of intermediate, right, or a PUC?
Okay.
What are the different exams available, and what are the different famous schools so that they can, listeners can research and
Get
see
into.
what schools there are.
Okay, so basically there are many law schools in India, but then only few of them have a prestigious value. Like IITs or something, which are in
Right,
competition with the IITs. So first
right.
preferences are to the NLUs throughout India. Okay, may it be NLISU, which is the Bangalore University of the NLU in Bangalore, or then there's NALSA, the NLU in Hyderabad, and many more like that. And
So
second
basically,
comes,
NLU is a National Law University. Is that what it is?
huh? I didn't get you.
NLU is National Law University. Is that what it is?
Yes,
Or
national law universities. Yes.
okay, okay, got it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, these national universities are they're top tier law schools. Okay, they're
Got
on
it.
par with Cambridge, Harvard. They're on par with those schools.
Okay,
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 so getting to the, to get to such esteemed universities, you have to write an exam called Common Law Appearance Entrance Exam, which is CLAT.
okay,
Okay, which will which happens every year, for every student after their intermediate who wants to take an undergraduate or after you finished your undergraduate and you want to pursue LLB. Okay.
got it. Okay, okay. So what are the
Okay,
LLB
you
options
then
available? Is LLB LLB BBA? I heard about LLB MBA. What is all that?
okay, I'll there's no LLB MBA.
I'm just guessing. I'm just sitting here
Okay,
guessing.
no problem.
I'm very few now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
those who want to BB, okay, there are basically for who want to do honors or who want to do an integrated course. They take either BA LLB or BBA LLB
Okay.
or
Okay.
BCom
Got it.
LLB. Okay, there are three
Okay.
options: BA
Got it.
LLB, BBA LLB, and LLB. And there's a fourth minor option, BCA, or no, sorry, BSc LLB, which is Bachelor in Science and do LLB on top of that.
Okay. Crazy. Okay.
Okay, this is it's newly introduced in the local universities, but then people are getting into that.
Interested. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, in BALLB, like BALLB is more of like it's an open thing. You take arts, you can pursue corporate, you can pursue criminal, you can pursue anything you want.
Right.
After you take BA LLB, so it's like the basic step of LLB is like do BA because it has more inclination towards the law and the the cultural perspective.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, so
Okay.
the arts give you they give you some certain intuitivity towards law.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
And okay, when it comes to BBLLB, the BBLLB helps you in corporate more. So people who do BBLLB go for only corporate.
Corporate law side. Got it. Okay. Got it.
Okay, I
Okay.
mean they can pursue criminal afterwards, but then BBA LLB they prefer to go to corporate law only because
Okay.
BBA because
Business
they
administration.
have they have some knowledge about business, all of that management. They basically have a lot of management. They have like management like this. They have studied management for 3 years. Then they have done law, so they pursue corporate law.
Got it. Got
Um,
it. Yeah.
and BCom LLB is. BCom LLB also, they also have a lot of options. I mean, they can pursue criminal, but then they are more towards financial law, law of
Okay.
finance or something. So I don't know about no, BSc LLB, which is the more I mean, you have knowledge about, but then I don't know how would BSc LLB help it. I mean, it's just like that's just an undergraduate course to pursue LLB. I don't
Okay.
have much information on BSc
That's okay.
LLB.
That's okay. You don't have to, right? You're just an
No.
intermediate student. That's okay. So what next? So you have given your CLAT exam, you got a score. So what are the exams that are available? Are you ready to answer that question?
Yeah. After CLAT, there are a lot of other exams too, which give you into the tier one colleges. I was saying, NLUs are tier one,
Right.
but then in that tier, after excluding NLUs, there are two more colleges which are tier one,
Okay.
which is OP Jindal in Delhi. Which for that you have to write LSAT, which is law
Okay.
entrance throughout India, which gives you colleges throughout law schools throughout India.
Okay.
But then the top rank,
Same like the CLAT
the top
exam.
rank, it's open to every college. CLAT exam is only for NLUs, National Law Universities.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Okay, so if you take CLAT course and go to normal law school, you won't get into it. They'll be like, write our own entrance, then you will
Okay.
see.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Okay.
so CLAT exam is only for national law universities.
Oh, okay. That's good. Okay. I didn't know
So
that.
LSAT gives you LSAT. So if you write LSAT, it's throughout India for any law school except for NLUs.
Okay. Except
And
or is it also with it NLUs? Except.
no, they don't include
NLUs don't
NLUs in
consider.
LSAT.
Okay. Okay.
No,
LSAT.
NLUs, they are different. They have their own set of exams.
Okay. 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 Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
So they don't mix with the common colleges. They're
It's like
really
IIT
tight.
JEE kind of. IIT
Yes,
JEE kind of.
IITJ.
Specifically
Yes,
for,
yes, yes, totally.
that top tier
Yeah,
university. Okay.
totally,
Okay.
totally.
Got it.
And there is one more college apart from Jindal, which is Symbiosis Pune, Symbiosis Law School.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Symbiosis has made its name throughout. Symbiosis is a well-established university.
Well
As
established
you
university.
know.
True. Yes.
So Symbiosis Law, which is for that you have to write SLAT exam, which is again Symbiosis Law entrance exam,
Of course.
which only applies to Symbiosis.
I mean, it's engineering. It's like a university specific exam. It's like a
Yes. So,
bits exam for bits basically.
yeah, yeah, that's all.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Huh.
So,
And
oh, that. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
and I think these are tier one colleges, but then there are
Okay.
some local law schools which in every part of the in the name locally. They're like the top schools local, but then in the local and they have like a recognition like across. Oh yeah, this. You're from this law school, yeah. They have a recognition attained to some certain level.
Okay.
So, which is Christ University? As you know, you must have known Christ University, I guess.
First university. Yes.
So, Christ University, that they have their own entrance exam, but then
Mm-hmm.
the law teaching is apparently good. I am not. I'm writing that too, so I don't know. So that's why I'm like apparently good.
Okay. That's good. That's good. So, again, thank you so
So,
much for joining. It is a very insightful session, right?
uh,
So the reason I get in touch with students like you is it keeps me updated on what are the latest trends that are going on, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yes,
because of course I did my engineering, I went my masters and everything. That's one kind of thing. But these younger generation, what are they thinking, right? What are the different options available for them? Is what
hmm,
I'm trying to achieve through this episode,
huh,
right?
okay,
So
sure,
going forward, what I want you to do is I want you to take care of my student interaction. So I don't want to
sure,
involve in a student interaction because it becomes like a mentoring session, right? It's like okay, they're
yes,
like okay,
yes,
what do you want me to tell them? I don't want to do that. I want them to basically say why they chose that career, as we discussed right now, right? So it's going to basically be like you're gonna drive the interaction. You're gonna be asking them questions, and basing on that, you know, it will be a student interaction, which will be much more engaging than a mental
uh,
interaction with the student, right? So
uh,
that's the path forward. Okay. So I really appreciate your time today, and I've learned a lot
pleasure's my pleasure.
about law and everything, which is good. So again, thank you so much for joining. Hope you have a good day,
Pleasure's
and
mine. You too.
thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye bye.